Hello, I'm Svitek, 360 Creative Coach. In this episode, I want to share a story with you that has a very poignant lesson. Okay. Now, before I get into things, I would like to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already done so. That way, you get all the various lessons and episodes that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did, and thank you if you already were. It truly does mean a lot to me, as I hope it does to you. So, firstly, I should note that this story and this lesson I saw on Maria Schreiber's Instagram post, right? And I've linked to it down below so you can kind of check it out there and follow Maria for other sort of great tidbits and inspiration like this. But I want to share it from my own words as well. So, the story goes there's a father who saved up money for his kid's birthday. Let's say, her 16th birthday. And on her 16th birthday, when she could drive, he gifted her this beat up kind of old car. And he's like, this is, I saved up money and this is the gift I wanted to give you. So she's like, oh, okay, cool. This is really, this is awesome type of thing. And he says, you know what I like? What you should do, go to an go to a used auto car lot and see how much money you can get for this car. That might be a benefit to you, and you kind of go from there. So she does. She takes the car and she comes back and she says that, well, they offered me $1,000 for it, so maybe it's not worth it, type of thing, or stuff like that. So the father says, you know what? Take it to a pawn shop or a scrap metal yard and see how much they're willing to offer you for the car, because I know it's not your favorite car or whatever, but see how much money you can get for it. So she goes, comes back, and tells him that they were only going to offer her $1,000. He's like, okay, well, how about this? Go to this convention, this auto convention, and just talk to the people there and see what you can get for it. So she goes and she comes back. She's like, oh my God, they were going to offer me $100,000 for the car because they said it's a vintage 86 Nissan, this and that, right? And so in that moment, the father smiles and he said, see, always go towards where they know and appreciate your true value. Never settle for somewhere where they don't. So in that sense, right, the car is a metaphor for one's value. The car didn't change, when she went to these places. So in a way, it's knowing your worth and not devaluing yourself, knowing what you bring to the table, and just being able to find the right people, the right job, whatever the case may be, that sees your value and appreciates your value and is going to ultimately pay your value, right? That's what the story really is about. And that's a great lesson that I think, the father instilled into his daughter. And I think it's a lesson that we should all take away from, so many times we're told to know our worth and things like that, but just seeing it deduced in this way, I don't know, for me, it really resonated. And so I hope it resonates with you. And, I think where it gets frustrating for a lot of us is this idea that, it is a little bit difficult, unlike with a car. We don't know exactly where we should be kind of headed, especially in the creative field of really people seeing our value for what it truly is. And it could be a long journey. And sometimes, in some sense, we have to kind of do a lot of convincing. But I think if you're aware enough and continue doing great work, and just don't really settle, then I think you will find what you're looking for. And certainly other people have, I have, and that's a beautiful thing, And listen, we're always on a journey. So like the value I bring at this moment is not as great as it's going to be 20 years from now, right? 20 years from now, I'm going to bring even more value because of the wisdom and experience that I've gained in those 20 years. So part of it's being honest and realistic about where you are in this point in time. It's not to say like, that your value isn't going to be really high in the future, but right now, kind of really consider where you are realistically. But it doesn't mean you have to devalue yourself at the same time either. So it's kind of an interesting balancing act. But don't be realistic with your value, but never devalue yourself, right? So I really love the story because of the message that it communicates. And I hope you do too. If you have any questions or thoughts of your own about this, please share it, whether down in the comments section or hit me up on social media at Svitek. I would love to converse with you. Likewise, if you think this story might be of inspiration or benefit to somebody in your life, please share it with them. I certainly would appreciate it, as I appreciate you. I'll see you